Week 24! Episode 24.
Yes, sir.
Not week 24.
25.
Intro. Sorry about it. This is 25?
Isn't
Are you
it?
sure? I think it's 24.
I feel
I thought 23. Oh, no. Did I mess up already? Am I back in time?
I think you are.
Oh, no. Let's pull up YouTube. Let's figure this out. Before we go start watching, maybe I can edit this. Oh, no, this is not me. Squatchin Sports Podcast. Content.
It might be me. How we doing, guys?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What is
This
it?
is episode 25.
I told you.
Oh, God. Well, geez. Well, much like the Steelers this week, we took a step back in our podcast. That's on me. That's on me. But, so welcome to episode 25. Welcome to episode 25. We'll fix that eventually. We'll fix that later. This is episode 25. Week 1 of NFL football is in the books. You know what that means? It's time to react. And honestly,
It's time to react, baby.
It's time to hit the panic button on some teams. It's time to tell some teams are going to the Super Bowl. It's time to just scrap everything and tank for Caleb Williams. That's what we're here for.
Doug, if you're talking about the pod, I mean, I'm pretty sure we all did lose week 1.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's okay because I went 3-2. That was one of my losses, and then my other loss was unfortunately on that punt return forward TD.
Oh, no. They gave you a loss?
Never. I've lost in some weird ways in fantasy. Ian, we might as well flip the script since Doug brought us into it. We'll go fantasy first, I guess.
Good.
But so first off, terrible game. Starts off terrible, especially for a betting person like myself.
Yeah, it's a rough start.
And at the end of the game, I'm sitting there watching. I'm looking at all my fantasy leagues. I'm like, okay, I'm going to lose one league. It's going to be the podcast, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I flip over because I have one league in the ESPN, and I flip over, and I lost by 4 points. And it's because the guy I was playing had the Jets defense, and that punt return counted as 6 points.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that'll do it.
That one hurt.
One
hurt. Mm-hmm.
Well, before we roll into fantasy, because that's what we're going to do, obviously you see we are one man short tonight. Mr. Lip is away on business. He could not make it, so we carry on without him. We miss him dearly. I can't say I'm going to miss him ripping Kenny Pickett tonight, because while it's warranted, while it's absolutely warranted, just don't want to hear about it. So we'll move on. But so that's why we're not here. But we're gonna have a guest popping in here a little while. He is one of my buddies, also in our podcast league, but we'll intro him when he comes through. So let's go ahead and just jump into fantasy. McCoy already said he went 3-2 in his leagues this week, right? I went 2-5 in my leagues. It was a rough one. Yes, but I got the dub in the one that matters.
You won in the big one.
You're all right. Because the guy that is not on this podcast took a big ol' L to this guy right here. So we're here for that. That is the reason why I do miss that he's on this podcast, so I can at least give him some of that. But we all know what he'd do. He would go over here, reach this
Grab his
direction, pull out
trophy.
this big old piece of hardware. Yep. And just say 2 years in a row, live in the past like us Steeler fans love to do, and then put it back on the shelf.
Yep. And
But
he was also, I believe, if not the lowest, no, he was the second lowest scoring team this week.
yeah. I think Lamar Jackson got him like 5 points. Not great. Yeah. Justin Jefferson did what he does. He got 20-some points.
We'll go into that. I mean, everyone knows that. I mean, as some people get in here, dude, the big guys did not show up this week. Besides, like the really, really big guys.
Dude,
outside of like JJ, Tyreek, like your big receivers that normally do. Those are the only ones that really showed up. Like you had your players that got your 20, 22 points. But like your guys that you drafted in your first round did not show up.
No, they didn't. And I'm going to pull up these stats here so we can kind of see where, like just points in general of where they got for week 1. And this does not seem accurate. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's not even close to accurate. What are they showing me here? These are projections and stats. I want the stats. I want the week 1 stats.
For fantasy?
Yeah. It's just showing me all these, all the ones that are free agents. I was trying to pull them in Sleeper, but it's not showing me. So we'll pull them up in Fantasy Pros. I think I should have it. But yeah, I mean, just for reference, just on our matchup, like I said, Josh Allen got 10 points. He threw 4 interceptions and a fumble. Lamar Jackson got 5 points. Joe Burrow threw for 82 yards.
82.
Like, that is bad. That's rough.
82, but like, so like, I mean, you talk about
now,
that whole game, like, that's a lot of top players out there too. Jamar, Nixon, T. Higgins.
Yep. T. Higgins went 0 for 8. He had 0 points. Yeah, Michelle has him in our pod league.
The 2 leagues I actually had him in, though, I still actually won, thank God. But
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I had 6.5. They won 40-0.
Yeah. Jordan Love was the number 3. So here's your top quarterbacks.
That's what I was going to see. Who was the top 1?
Yeah, Tua.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Right. Tua was number 1. He like miscellaneous. Now this can vary depending on what league you're in, but from a standard league's perspective, he got about 28 points, which is your top performer. Mac Jones was 2 at 25 points.
You say Mac Jones?
Mac Jones was number 2 in quarterbacking this week. Yeah, I mean that right there shows you just an obscene week 1 it was. It was rough. There wasn't. I would say the Lions and Chiefs game was probably the best game, besides like the Dolphins and Chargers, because they were just like a shootout. I'm trying to think of any other game that was like at least entertaining. The Buccaneers game. See, I didn't see a whole lot of that. I saw Baker throw into Mike Evans deep on repeat on SportsCenter because that was the only play they showed from that game.
Yeah, I mean, it's Baker. Baker's there, man.
Baker.
But no, yeah, like
they had him on a stiff arm.
New England defense did look decent. I mean, I just don't know. So it's kind of tough to say that because I mean, they've always looked decent, right? And everyone's like, oh, they have a tough schedule this year. Why would you take them? I know we were on a podcast talking about that, and Jimmy and I think Ian brought that up to me about like they got a tough schedule. Like their defense isn't going to show up, and I mean they did. But I think Philly lost too many important keys on not only both sides of the line that it showed. I'm not saying they're not going to be good. I mean, it's like I said, it's week one overracked, right? But they definitely didn't look good.
No.
I mean, you take the top three teams. What was it? Philly, Buffalo, KC, and guess what? Bucks and Browns have better records than all three of them.
You're not wrong. Stats are stats.
Mm-hmm.
Records are records.
Mm-hmm.
You can't argue it. I hate it. But you can't argue it.
Yeah.
Doug, I didn't watch
the
New England game. But, I mean, obviously, they put the work in.
Yeah, I watched the tail end. So, like, obviously I work Sunday, and I watched the tail end of that game, and dude, Hurts just couldn't get anything going. His line, he was collapsed on the whole time. I think that goes back into like the Lamar situation. We talk about fantasy, and I told people before this season started that Baltimore was going to be last in the division. Now, obviously, they won, but they played a nobody week one.
Yeah,
they really did, and they struggled to start. To be honest with you,
and they struggled.
Yeah. But I feel like they are the worst team in that division. Pittsburgh didn't prove a great point.
Yeah.
But they also played one of the best teams in the league.
Right. Right, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
For sure.
It was.
But yeah, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
As far as like top tier, your first top tier quarterback in fantasy to hit was Justin Herbert at number 6.
Yeah.
He hit 20 points. And then Mahomes. And then T-Law.
I'd say T-Law was at right at 19 or 20.
Mm-hmm.
See, that takes me into like what we talked about before we got on the pod, right? So, like we talked a little bit about before this for you guys that are in here that I got a trade come through and someone tried to get T-Law and ETN off me for Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, they were giving me a couple other things, but nothing important to me right now. And I'm in a bad running back situation. So I'm not going to give up ETN not to get a running back. T-Law and Patrick Mahomes to me right now. You better have Kelsey for me to get Mahomes.
Right.
Because your receivers can't catch.
Yeah, that's tough.
Because they're
in a tough situation.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's been a minute since we all,
yeah.
Obviously we do every Tuesday, and we haven't rolled back on that, but Thursday, whoo! I mean, that was rough.
Yeah.
It was a rough game to see.
That was, yeah. First off, I mean, they covered in all the sports,
right.
Like Sports Center, Get Up, all that good stuff. But from that game, Kadarius Toney should just sit down and never speak again. Did you see what he did to the Giants?
Yeah.
What a moron. What an idiot. You literally dropped the ball for your team. And then you go and try to clown another team.
We talked about this on that trade I made. Somebody in one of our dynasty leagues traded me Cooper Kupp. And I had to give him Wan'Dale Robinson and Trey Lance, which Trey Lance is what it is. Yes, he might start somewhere, he might not, whatever.
Right.
Cooper Kupp might be out. I don't even care if he's out this whole season. It's a dynasty league.
Exactly.
I gave up a Giants wide receiver. And for anyone in here, Giants wide receivers suck.
Yeah.
They're the most injury prone.
You traded Trey Lance and Wan'Dale Robinson, and you got Cooper Kupp back?
Yep.
That's a steal and a half.
Yeah, because the dude was feared that he was going to be out for the season. I was like, I don't care. This is dynasty, homie. Mm-hmm.
That's highway robbery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I guess he read so I asked Handel about it because it's in his brother's league, and I was like, so, like, what? I was like, it was right before the draft, and I was like, is this dude, like, fucking with me right now? And because he was the new guy, so, like, Dynasty League, it was our second year, but he took over someone's team because someone backed out, kind of like Shaq's situation. But his team sucked. You always lose someone in Dynasty. And anyone that plays in Dynasty realizes this. Like, you lose someone in Dynasty because their team sucks and they're out.
Right.
So this guy took over this team. He had Cooper Kupp and like maybe one or two other players. If Cooper gets hurt, he's screwed. So he's like, I got to trade this guy. I was not expecting Trey Lance and Wan'Dale Robinson for Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, why would you not try to get picks or something?
Yeah, and we have 2 IR spots. So I just traded them, freed my bench, put them on the IR, and every draft pick I took for our 3 rounds, I got to keep.
Smart move. Yep. Smart move.
My IR is looking good right now.
Yeah, I got Cooper Kupp and Jameson Williams sitting in my IR.
But
in my one league, go for it.
No, go ahead. You're good.
In my one league, I have it's a keeper league. I didn't like my team at all, and but I had to keep people based per the rules of the league. So I kept Aaron Rodgers and Scary Terry, and obviously, we all saw what happened to Rodgers. Sucks. So I threw him on my IR. But Kyler Murray was not drafted. So I just put a waiver claim in for him. Hopefully, I don't see why anybody would pick him up, but hopefully no one does.
In our league?
Stash him in my IR. Huh? No, not in our league.
In our league?
League. No. This is a different league. Hopefully no one takes him. I'll just put him in my IR and then start Jordan Love until
it's kind of crazy how that works.
Yeah.
So it's always kind of crazy, like in Dynasty, right? So like I'm in 2 of them now, right? And so ours is like, obviously for you guys out there watching, me and Ian are the commissioners, so like we kind of base mine off one of the ones I'm in for the stuff I like out of it,
right?
And then we kind of agree on other stuff. But this league's kind of complex because we have one more IR spot than we have in our normal Dynasty league. We have a taxi squad, which is 4 players too. So our team is massive. So free agency is very like slim. You don't see it. The good thing that does for you is like you don't pick up people, right? You have to trade. You have to trade future picks. You have to trade money. Like it's kind of cool how it works. Where our league, you go and get someone like Kyler Murray and you stash him on the IR, and then guess what? I'm not going to say he's going to be great next year, but it's worth the risk. You know what I mean? Like, it's worth taking someone like that and putting them down there. In worst case scenario, 2 of your players get hurt. You ditch Kyler Murray and you get the 2 players on the IR. So, yeah, definitely. How many are you in now? I can't hear you. Are you muted yourself?
I was chewing, so I muted myself. So I have Keeper, an auction league, our dynasty, and then a regular redraft, and then our pod.
Okay, I missed the first one. What was the first one you said?
Keeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
different friend groups.
Okay. Yeah, so I think now I'm in 2 dynasty. My draft I've been in since I was a senior in high school. And then we have our Zanesville one and then our pod. Yeah, 5. Because I cut out 2 this past year. It didn't like, I only wanted, my goal was to only do 4. And then obviously we did the pod. So, I mean, for the people in here, I hate to say this, but like, it's the pod. So, like, we want you guys to win. Doesn't mean I'm not going to try to beat you guys, because I am. Because we're shit talking city around here.
Yeah, we don't mess around.
Yeah, I mean, it started to make football a little different. So that's the only reason I looked at said thing, is because like my leagues right now, I have Trevor Lawrence in 2, and I have Patty Holmes at 1. So I was going to even it out. And I was like, at least I got to root for 2 people.
Right.
But that's the problem with fantasy. It's just all over the place.
Yeah, I mean,
but
I know it's tough. It's real tough.
It makes it fun. But yeah, if you want to go ahead, we have some people in here. If you want to go ahead and give an introduction here, I see your boy just came in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So our guest for tonight, week 1 guest. He's real into fantasy, also real into football. Met him through work. One of my good friends now. He's always watching, so we appreciate him. He subs. He's the GOAT. Please welcome the one and only Shazam, aka Montel.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing?
What's up, dude?
What's going on? What's going on? Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate you.
Thanks for jumping on, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this. It's been cool.
Hell yeah, dude.
So we're just talking about fantasy and all the fun stuff, and things we do while we're working.
All that. Hey, what's up, KI? Appreciate you, KI.
Montel, we gotta ask. Did you win week 1 in our podcast league?
Oh yeah, man. I remember somebody fondly saying that they wasn't going to take an injured running back as their second running back. And
who was that? Was that me?
That was you. That was you.
Who was it?
Jonathan Taylor. I took Jonathan Taylor as a risk. Took him as a risk.
Hell no.
I mean, I did end up dropping 170. I mean, Ian, you could pull it up. Go ahead and pull it up on the screen. Dropped 170 this week.
Oh yeah. Good shit.
He did drop 170.
It was fire. This was I really like the podcast league because it allows you to like mess around. There's no money involved.
Oh yeah.
So I try to do something a little different this year.
Dude, so you saying that reminds me. So I have this hometown league up here where I live now, and it's a 2-keeper league.
Ooh.
But we also have IDPs.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the 4th pick. My first one was a keeper, Austin Eckler. And it comes around, and I'm the 4th pick of, I think we did 10 this year. Yeah, 10 this year. It came back around, and I host everyone for our draft. And they're sitting there, and I'm like, finally, they're like, John, you're up. So I look down at my phone. I'm like, why the hell is Tyreek Hill sitting here right now? So I drafted him, obviously. And It's funny because, like, when we talked about that on the pod, like, these people sit here, and they're like, yeah, I drafted this person. I'm like, you drafted somebody that's not going to score 40 or 30 every week.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tyreek Hill, guess what? He's not going to throw picks. He's going to catch balls. Like Tua might throw a bunch of picks. Who knows?
Yeah.
But he's going to throw them by throwing the ball to Tyreek Hill.
Let me prop this up. Give you receipts here.
Oh yeah, that nice 170.
This is Mr. Dreamville Shazam right here, the 170. Put the work in.
Go Dallas Cowboys defense. Appreciate y'all for finally showing up for week 1.
You're not wrong, bro.
So listen, if you guys follow the pod, as we always say, just like we're not good at making bracket challenges, I guess we're not good at making like podcast fantasy teams.
Everybody took a wild turn this time.
Dude.
Mm-hmm.
It was a wild.
Hey, what happened to
Chris? What
happened to Chris though? I know you scored a lot of points, but what happened to her?
Let's find out. Justin Fields put in
Najee getting shut down was tough.
He's gonna get shut down.
Had 12 is all right. Mark Cooper had 6. Kyle Pitts had 6. John Dotson.
And Monta, I don't know if you heard this in the beginning. We were talking about how many like it wasn't a surprise, but like how many fantasy stars just didn't show up.
Oh man, tell me about it. The entire Bengals offense. They need an entire new game plan. I think a lot of defenses figured out what it is. In my honest opinion, I think they need to establish the run. It's something that's lost in today's league. Who else? Josh Allen. Oh my God. Don't get me wrong. Stephon Diggs is my favorite receiver. Super happy to see him get a touchdown week 1. But Josh Allen cannot be blind. He cannot be blind. If Stephon Diggs is on a post corner and Gabe Davis is running a quick slant and you're deciding to throw the ball to James Cook 2 yards out, it just was not the best decision.
Yeah. I mean, or just throw it to Whitehead.
True.
They gave you a laughing emoji for how many points you scored.
It was crazy. I didn't expect for it to go off like that.
Yeah. Michelle was so upset that she lost.
Who'd she lose to?
So upset. Jimmy's buddy. The guy we had on while we were drafting.
Oh yeah.
But look at her team, bro. So Jalen
Dude,
Hurts at 12.
RB1 this week. Jones.
Aaron Jones, she had him. He went off.
AJ.
Damian Pierce was tough.
After
Justin
her-
Jefferson went off.
Oh
T.
yeah,
Higgins
Higgins.
got
T.
0 points, bro. He went 0 for 8. 0 points.
I
That's
looked down
rough.
multiple times and saw T. Higgins 0 for 8, and I was like,
Dude.
It's not even real.
And again, this is what messed her right there. The Jets defense.
mm-hmm.
Jets defense and my dynasty quarterback.
What a
We're gonna keep
comeback
her
win for
rooting
him
for her.
too. So sorry for Aaron.
Yeah,
Rodgers.
dude.
Oh, so she lost the same way I did then.
Yeah, she
did.
didn't help. Didn't help.
That
Did not help.
lost it for her.
Did you all get a
Just go
chance?
through our games.
Did you get a chance to watch the Philly New England game?
Did not. We have to talk about that.
I watched most of it.
Prior, I didn't get a chance to see it.
It was actually really good. Mac Jones, I think after he got settled, I think it was 3 drives they just were terrible on. The defense was great, but Mac Jones really started to string it together against a very solid Philly defense. He's the underdog this season to me. I think after watching that game, I think he's the underdog. He doesn't have a great supporting cast. Zeke is trying to, reinitiate his career, but Mac Jones is going to be an underdog this year.
For sure.
Yeah, he was the number 2 quarterback in fantasy.
Yeah, they cut Zappe for a reason. They want to they're going to invest into him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think they realized that last year. I mean, they put Zappe out there and it kind of hurt them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, last year was rough because they didn't have an offensive coordinator. They there it is. They didn't have an offensive. They had Matt Patricia, who clearly is a defensive coordinator running offense.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to work. So let's just look at this game here and my sadness.
It was a terrible week 1. It was a terrible week 1.
It was bad.
Very surprised to see Bijan split carries with Tyler.
Yeah, but also equally a surprise for both of them balling out. They both went off. I think Algier had 24 fantasy points. Bijan had 20. That's nuts. But yeah, I mean, Josh Jacobs 9, Jameer Gibbs 8. So I mean, they were close there. This is where it really starts to go downhill for me. St. Brown went off. Hawkinson, Cortland Sutton, Antonio Gibson got a whole 0.9. He couldn't even get a whole point.
It's because he had a fumble.
Bruh. Yeah, rough.
Your kicker did work. 13 points.
He did. Not enough work, unfortunately.
No, for sure. It's going to be a long
I couldn't have done anything else. It was just, yeah. Well, while we're waiting for McCoy to get back with his technical issues that he has once per episode, let's pull up this nice, fresh little dub that we got on Mr. Jimmy Lipinski here.
Oof.
Look at that.
He couldn't crack 100.
Oh,
okay.
Put it in the work.
This is the Dynasty League? Okay.
Yep. Put in the
Oh, he got done in so bad by Swift. Swift did him shady.
DeAndre Swift, nothing. Without Diggs and Jefferson, I mean, they did their thing, which is good. I mean, that's going to be his team right there.
I wish I would have took Diggs.
I tried to trade him for Diggs, but he wanted Kittle and Pierce for Diggs, which right now looks like a great trade. But that's only week 1. And I got the dub, so we're good.
True.
My bench, I think I had somebody. Yeah, Gainwell did all right. He didn't really have anybody besides Nakua. We can talk about that once we get to the football segment. But they did some work.
He is a top waiver. He's a top pickup on the waiver wire. Pickup on the waiver wire this week. Him
and Tutu as well. They both went off. Now, granted, they play Seattle, which I think defense is good at that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't have Kenneth Gainwell either. which is questionable. I expected him to be picked up in a lot of leagues. I'm expecting him to really take over that running back situation in Philly. He did a great job.
Yeah. Let me pull up my
Oh no! How bad was it, Casey?
In our dynasty.
How bad was it? Is she in our league?
Now he's in our dynasty league.
Okay.
So he let me share my screen again here. Go to matchups here. That's just our matchup league. He put the work in.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, Deshaun Watson really showed up.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next week.
Derrick Henry
throws him on his head multiple times, but that's just me.
Derrick Henry is looking a little lackluster, in my opinion. Oh, he has Tyreek.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it. McCoy, welcome back. Yeah, I mean his team performed at the utmost efficiency.
Oh yeah, it's AJ Brown
last week. Yeah, you got all these through trades essentially, and obviously
is this a championship or bust season, Casey?
Yeah, he bought all in. Get my taco buy this week. Yeah, he had some good trades. He went all in, and this is the team he went with. Now, we don't plan out, but my man does his Cleveland Brown colleagues dirty in trades all the time.
Yeah,
bruh. I don't know what type of stuff he be giving. I promise you, I swear, anytime I try to trade Shaq or Said, they go to Casey first and ask his opinion, and then come back and decide if they're going to trade or not. I swear it happens. Because I'll send it to him, and it takes a little bit, and then they're like, you know what? I thought about it, but I'm not going to do it this time. And then Casey goes and they just do a 3-way trade, and Casey gets their whole entire team, and then they get 2 and 3 round draft picks in 2027. It doesn't make sense.
And the Browns third string receiver.
Right. What are you feeding these guys, dude?
Casey finessing.
But that's where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
Casey
that was definitely a good week for him.
Are you
he said there's zero collision.
Are you a Tampa Bay fan, McCoy?
Yes, sir.
Did you like how Baker told young boy to put some weight on?
Dude, that was awesome.
That's pretty dope. Casey, I will say I'm not saying you're colluding. I'm not saying you're colluding. I'm saying you're out here just doing your Cleveland Brown colleagues dirty. That's all I'm saying.
Jesus. The elves.
Sorry, I'm talking to you.
You got Said and Shaq in the league, so you can take all their players.
Right.
I mean, there was a reason the dude you sit next to on a daily basis had the least amount of points scored in our fucking league. And somehow he was sold this high on Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And now he doesn't have Derrick Henry.
Right. And he still almost beat. He only lost by 3 points. It was 82-79. What a barn burner.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
All right. Well, that's fantasy. Don't you put that devil on. That's fantasy. That's week 1 fantasy. Week 1 was crazy. I would say don't take what you saw to heart. It's week 1.
No.
Burrow's going to get his. Jackson's going to get his. Allen's going to get his. The running backs will come back. I think it'll settle out a little bit. Yeah. Just play it as you would. Play it normally.
I know he's not here, but I need Jimmy's team to do exactly what he did this week, next week.
Right.
Defense.
Yeah, I don't even know if I play next week. Oh, I play Big Game Dame. The fantasy superstars.
We just swapped opponents.
Yeah, we did. We really did.
Mm-hmm.
Really did. I need Dallas to make Zach Wilson see ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Put another 40 block on
him. Never talks to anyone. Yeah, facts, Doug. But we'll end that on fantasy. We'll hop into the topic I wanted to talk about first, but we're going to talk about it second.
Yeah.
Yes. Our topic about the NFL was supposed to be first. The fantasy is supposed to be second.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
McCoy, do your thing. Go ahead.
So we're gonna break down some overreact technically Tuesday and go with our division winners. I think Ian has them somewhere, or we can pop them up.
I do in my notes here.
But yes, we're going to overreact, but we're also going to react to this great thing of week 1.
I wonder what this is going to look like. Let me see. I'll need y'all seeing all my goodies.
Y'all can give us the leak.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Please update system permissions. Last screen recording for the browser. I got to update my system permissions. Hold on a second.
All I'm saying is the Bucs won, the Steelers lost. The Bucs have more winning people in their division. The Steelers don't.
Yeah.
And so we're React Tuesday. We were supposed to be
right. So React Tuesday.
They're looking a little more shitty.
All right. I don't know if I can't share them. It won't let me share my notes for some reason, but I can go.
No, you can pop up the standings. We'll break down the divisions and we'll tell you guys where we're at with them and where we're sitting. So if you just want to pop up the standings, Ian.
Yeah, I can do that.
We'll go in. We got some decent amount of people in here. Montel, what was your biggest surprise week 1?
The biggest surprise was the Bills losing. To me, just because I'm a Stephon Diggs fan. As an NFL fan, I would definitely say the biggest upset was Dallas 40-0 the Giants.
Okay.
Smoked.
I expected so much more. I mean, Dallas obviously has a strong defense, but I expected so much more from Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley and Darren Waller, honestly, even though they don't really have a wide receiver. But
I gotcha. We'll cut on that when we get to that division.
Perfect.
Where are we at here? We on the top side here.
Yep. AFC.
I hate this bar that comes up. It always interferes with everything.
Can you see it?
Yeah, there it goes. So up top, I mean, obviously we all had the Bills here, I think, right? Mm-hmm. With the Jets kind of doing something, which is shocking that the Jets are up there because of what happened.
Right. It's a big win for that city.
I think at the end of the day, I think we all had New England at the bottom. But I'm not going to say they're going to be there because, like I said, it's Overreact Tuesday.
Right.
Actually looked a lot better than they should have, especially playing the Eagles week 1.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that one, Ian?
The East?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins weren't as surprising. I actually had the Chargers covering -3 in that game.
Yeah.
I just thought they were going to come out and just I thought the Chargers had more weapons. They were just going to outplay them. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they didn't. Tyreek Hill went off for 230-some yards. So that's not surprising. The Jets, I think I feel like I had them winning when Rodgers was in against the Bills, but I still have the Bills winning the division, period. But as far as that matchup, I thought the Jets were going to win, and it was going to be a close game, which it was. It just wasn't as close as in the way I thought it would be. And I had the Patriots at the bottom, even though they did put up a good fight against the Eagles, more than I thought, honestly. But yeah, the Patriots at the bottom was what I figured. Tough division. It's gonna be a tough division. Without Rodgers, it makes it a little less tougher. I think it kind of opens the window for other teams now because Zach Wilson ain't it. It took 4 interceptions and a fumble from Josh Allen for them to beat them. You know what I mean? Like, Josh Allen does that against Aaron Rodgers. Who knows what happens? But we'll see. Montel, what's your thoughts?
Like I said, I wanted the Bills to win that game. That was definitely on my list. The Patriots, I expected them to lose just because it's the Eagles. They got a vengeance that they're coming with this year. Definitely expected it to be a little bit more spread. Expected more from Jalen Hurts. And then, obviously, I expected Miami to win. But I expected it to be even higher scoring than what it was.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. Yeah, pretty wild. All right. AFC East chat. Don't be afraid to jump in. Tell us what you think. Even if we are a little behind, we just talk about AFC East. We'll slide to AFC North. McCoy, go ahead. Give us your little tidbit.
Are you ready?
Yeah, no, but it's gonna happen regardless. So go ahead.
So I mean, we're here on supposedly the best division in 2023, guys. The best one. Supposed to have the best teams.
Arguably, we said
Some of the best teams, best division, best football, right?
We about to argue.
But there's 2 teams in here. First off, that didn't even show up Sunday. And a third team that barely showed up. They got the win, but they barely showed up. And then there's a 4th team who I told everyone would win this division on Overreact Tuesday. And that would be the Cleveland Browns.
Which was? Yeah. So, again, I'm glad its subtitle is Overreact Tuesday because that's exactly what we're doing right now is overreacting. Listen, week 1, the Browns played good against the Bengals. They shut them down. I mean, Joe Burrow didn't do
everything down.
Shit. 83 yards passing. Like, that's god-awful. With the weapons you have, oh, my God.
Myles Garrett was dribbling the ball on the defensive line.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
That was cold.
Like, that's how bad they shut them down. My man was out there getting ready to hit the jump shot on him.
Yeah. You mentioned about the most surprising game.
Baltimore.
This might be a homer pick, but the Steelers and Niners was definitely surprising for me.
Yeah.
Only because, one, we come out typically pretty strong week 1, especially against good opponents.
Yeah.
And good Lord, we must have completely just wiped our brain. They got the little Men in Black flasher thing to forget what preseason was and whatever offense happened in preseason, because that was not it. When I saw Matt Canada run a jet sweep on 2nd down, dude, I was so livid. I was so mad. Like, we're going back to this again? What are we doing? What are we doing? So I said in the beginning of the podcast, tank for Caleb, overreaction Tuesday. This is my overreaction. Season's over. It's done. We're garbage. We're hot garbage. We're never going to do good again. Matt Canada's a coordinator for the rest of our life because they don't know what to do with the offense. We're tanking for another quarterback. I'm a Kenny Pickett supporter. We all know who's not a Kenny Pickett supporter on this podcast. He's not here tonight. Oh, look, there he is. There he is. He actually commented.
Did he?
But, yeah, he did. But, good Lord. And I will be the first to say I didn't get to watch the game on Sunday live. I didn't have it where I was. I rewatched it on Monday. And I humbled myself in our group chat. I said, that's on me. Kenny Pickett looked god-awful. Had nothing to do with the coordinator. He was bad. He was very, very bad. And it's not something you want to see.
So, I mean,
definitely not what you want to see.
That's what I told you guys, right? Like, obviously, you guys didn't look good. But you were also I mean, it was the 49ers. I'm not saying that you guys should have scored 7 points. Or you guys should have thrown the picks when you did, or the plays that you did. But you were expecting.
No, you should have showed up.
Since he wasn't supposed to go
we played arguably the best team.
Yeah.
Right. We played arguably the best team in football.
After week 1, I would by far, and we'll get there, they are the best team after week 1. But Baltimore, I'll tell you right now, that's the team I told you was going to finish last. They did not look good against Texas. They won, obviously, but it was Baltimore. That was like the Commanders beating Arizona.
Right.
They were supposed to.
That was rough.
Yeah, it was the biggest spread on Sunday. Was Baltimore.
Yeah. Montel, the Steelers going 0-17, or what's happening?
I wanted the Steelers to go 10-7 this season. It's looking more like 9-8. Just from the first week. Like you said, it was a big letdown to know that not only did we literally suck, we got demolished by, like you said, probably the best team in football right now. It was upsetting. Kenny did not look like Kenny from preseason. I know it's two different things, but he just looked lost. He looked so lost. Pickens was complaining about not getting the targets he wanted, which is very upsetting because he's done nothing in this league to have that type of mentality. Yeah. Really hoping he doesn't turn into AB 2.0 because we do not need that in Pittsburgh.
Not again. Speaking of AB. Go ahead, Montel. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was cutting off.
You were fine. I expected Cleveland and Cincy to be much closer. As McCoy said, I was a big fan of Myles Garrett literally toying with that offensive line.
Awesome.
The fact that he was able to split and spin directly off after he showed you what he was going to do in basketball moves, that's beyond me. And then for Baltimore, they shouldn't have won that game, but we'll leave that where it is.
I mean, even if they did win that game, I mean, that just proves a point. They won that game with Dobbins, and Dobbins isn't there anymore. I mean, Zay Flowers is for the win now. That's it.
Yeah.
But we won't beat the boys up too bad, but it does look pretty bad when you're sitting number 4, you know what I'm saying?
It doesn't look great, man. It really doesn't look great.
But
all right.
We'll move on.
The South. We'll move on. Week 2.
I mean, we all predicted this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yep, we all the Jags.
It was a rough start. I actually watched pretty much most of this game because I have T-Law in multiple leagues, ETN in multiple leagues, Ingram in multiple leagues. So I watched this game over a lot. The Colts look decent, but now that AR's kind of hurt, they're going to be in last place. I mean, we saw what they did with no quarterback, and now you have no Jonathan Taylor.
Right,
you're doomed. I mean, this is Jacksonville can literally cupcake this to the win.
Yeah, I mean that's Jacksonville has a division locked up already. Week 1.
I mean, we're gonna do an overreact Tuesday, but I mean, Jacksonville's sitting in a great spot to pull a bye right now, with how bad that the division is, because they're gonna get 8 wins.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Dummy lettuce. I don't know if this is sarcasm or not. I'm happy it's week 1. I'm real happy it's week 1. That was a rough week 1, bro. Rough week 1.
But yeah, so I mean, they're good there. I mean, I don't see. We said what we said about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry didn't do bad. I mean, they lost some players there. I mean, we go back to talking about if you can't throw the ball, you can't run the ball. I mean, they know what's coming. I mean, You have one player that
Right.
you hand the ball to. What are you going to do?
Yep.
So, I mean, he still did his job in a sense. Texans, hot garbage.
Yeah.
Hot garbage.
Doug, this defines this week for 100%. Any given Sunday. It don't matter what team you are. That is the best way to describe week 1.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this division is pretty cut and simple. I mean, it's what it is. I mean, there's one team that has a win, there's 3 that has a loss. It's going to explain that division the whole year.
Yep.
What do you guys think?
I'm not excited about that division at all.
No, there's nothing to be excited about.
Yeah, I'm not excited about it. Yeah, I'm rooting for Trevor Lawrence to make something shake. I do like the Colts a lot, but without Jonathan Taylor, they go nowhere.
Yeah, but
Michael Pittman for the top 15 wide receiver this year.
Yeah, even if Taylor comes back, I mean, like I said, with that AR, I mean, I'm not saying he's hurt or out a couple weeks or what, but that's a start of something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
whoa. 16-man league?
Yeah, that's looking rough. It already looks rough for a 12-man league.
So you see,
my man's picking up Ben Roethlisberger from the waiver wire.
We'll put back to that real quick. So once you get over 12-man, that's where I like the kind of auction style where you start out with like fab points and you do 200.
Yep.
Because waiver wire means nothing at that point. Like it's kind of weird. So let's do auction style. Let someone blow his load in the beginning and get someone at the end. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So anything over 12, you have to do it that way. If not, it just doesn't. It's kind of luck.
They have a budget system.
A what?
I think that's a budget system.
Budget, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you said 100 for waivers.
That makes sense then. Yeah, that's how you have to. Yeah, fab. Okay, yeah. That's how we do ours. Ours is 200, but we're dynasty, so that makes sense for 100 if it's a redraft.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is or not, but
that's crazy. 16 people.
Yeah, you have to have fab.
That's a lot of people.
Man, it's chalked. It's all about luck.
Auction drafts are wild. Auction drafts are pretty crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think we're all in agreement on that. Those 3 teams. I mean, Indy might make it to like 6-7 wins, and Jacksonville's gonna go 17-0.
No, you got that, dummy lettuce. I ain't into that. The 16 is not the way for me. That is not the way for
Everybody has their own motion of the ocean.
That's
fun for you to keep doing it.
Let us know how that ends up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me know who your running backs
are. Did you get the win week 1?
For the end of the year.
Yeah. What's your team look like? Did you get the win?
I just need to know who your running backs are and who your backups are because I know there's none on waiver wire.
What backups? That bench is empty.
So we'll go here.
Back champ. All right.
Hey, okay. I see you.
Who do you have?
You say back-to-back champs in the league. Gotcha. They lost last season though.
Nice. Ian, kick us off with the West. The West, right?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, not who I thought was going to lead. That's for damn sure. He said his team this year is Justin Jefferson. That sounds about right.
That's all you need.
Yeah, right. But
you're telling me that man was in a 16-man league and had the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Damn, what's that? 30?
This is about as sus as those trades.
33 picks. You pick one and you got to wait 33
That's
times.
What I'm saying. Who are your running backs?
Damn. Right.
Yeah, you had to wait 33 picks before your next pick.
Yeah. Yeah, Olave.
And then you got Olave? Yeah, exactly. Who do you have as your running back is my real question.
He got Gus Edwards.
Hey, that's a strong receiving core. JJ, then Olave, then Ridley.
That is nuts.
That's pretty tough.
Yeah. And then he went second strings hoping the first strings got hurt for running backs.
Oh yeah.
But no, Ian, hit
but yeah, Raiders. So Raiders are top right now at 1-0, obviously. These are things you don't expect to see. We're overreaction Tuesday. This is clearly not how it's going to end up. It could end up this way, but the Chiefs are in last place. I don't foresee that happening unless something goes crazy. the receivers will end up catching the ball at one point.
Maybe.
Chargers are maybe. Chargers are also 0-1. Chargers are kind of a wild card spot, but I think they're going to end up second in that division behind the Chiefs. Broncos still can't score over like 18 points, so they're just a mess. But the Raiders,
Jimmy G, baby.
Jimmy G, that game manager, bro.
Hey, Tom Brady, give him that pump. Hey, Jimmy G
people
always
sleep on him.
On Tom Brady, and guess what? He is again.
Yeah, right. Hey, not wrong, dude. People sleep on Jimmy G. I mean, he just wins games. That's all he does. He goes out, he manages games, and he wins. Yep.
Mr.
He doesn't have the flash. He's not a fantasy stud, but
hey,
honest, they don't give a shit about fantasy.
He does great in my super flex position.
I said not a fantasy stud. I didn't say he's not bad. I didn't say he's not good. He's not. I
started
stud.
This weekend.
No one's taking him in rounds 1 through 4. That's for damn sure.
No, I started him in my super flex this week, and I was like, okay, you might stay there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Give me 20.
Hey. Right. In our work league, I had Dak Prescott and Joe Burrow as my 2 quarterbacks.
They didn't combine for Jimmy G.
They combined for about 9 points, which was freaking awesome. So there's that. But yeah, AFC West. What do you guys think?
Montel, go ahead.
Appreciate you. I like the Raiders. I like the connection that Jimmy G has with Jacoby. Hopefully he doesn't have to stay in concussion protocol. I really like that connection. He's going to find it with Devontae Adams at some point, but it's nice to see that he's spreading that ball around like usual. LA, I like Eckler. Super worried about his ankle, but it sucked to see them go down the way they did. But again, you're playing another really decent team. It just was hard not to come out with that win. Right. Kansas City will figure it out. If not, we're going to start the petition for Ian to go ahead and suit up for a 10-day contract because they need somebody who can catch the ball, man.
I'm on it, man. See his hands.
He can't hit up 7 different receivers and you still don't win.
Right. I'm on it, man. I'll find the soft spots. You just feed him the ball. Like we said, Mark, that 1.4 mil guaranteed.
1.4 mil guaranteed.
I'll go out there and get smoked.
I'll take the league man.
Give me a call, KC.
That's what we said. Baby. Take the league man. I'll be good. I'll go out there and get cracked back.
We got Kelsey lined up here. I'll line up right here.
Shoot,
Kelsey drives everybody. Look at me.
Just give me the endorsements.
Tall, white dude, 4'8", 40. Come right behind Kelsey.
Gets trucked by a linebacker.
Don't look at that 1 mil, baby. That's all I care about.
Right. For sure. Yeah, I mean, we're on the same point right here, right? Like KC, like, I mean, I said it last year. I'm going to say it again. I don't think they finish first. They probably will because I said it last year and they finished first. But
I think we all have the Chiefs there.
Yeah, we all do have them there. Denver's going to finish last. I mean, they're doing the same thing they did last year. They lost by 1 point. Last year, they what were we talking about? It was 9 games. They lost by like less than 3 points.
If they scored more than 18 points.
Their defense is great.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not Russ, but it's going to start becoming Russ here soon.
It's Russ.
Yeah.
It's Russ.
It's going to start becoming that, right? The Chargers have always been that kind of way. I mean, they got a good defensive, like a little bit of a line and linebacker, but their corners have always like been blown coverage. So they've always played that shootout game, right?
Kyron Williams, dummy.
Yep, I go.
Yeah.
Yep. I go.
The Raiders. The Raiders are like a better Broncos to me. Like they're going to control the game.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
But Jimmy G, that's all you got to say. He's on top this week.
That's right.
Respect.
Yep.
Yep. All right, it's AFC. Let's bust through this NFC here.
This is my least favorite division in all the NFL.
No, there's a worse one in this
East?
one.
Yeah, bro. It's your division, the South. What are we talking about?
That's what I was thinking.
Guess how many winners we have in that division, guys?
Overreaction week 1, baby.
3, baby. Now we'll kick it off. I mean, Dallas, we all expected that, right?
Do we expect 40-0?
I didn't expect 40-0. No.
God,
someone on Twitter did. Giants fan did.
Yeah,
tweet it.
I saw that. Yeah.
Wow.
Who is he going to throw the ball to?
Danny Dimes?
Ian Beck.
Yeah. Not as tight end because the linebackers are going to cover him the whole time.
Yeah, Darren Waller's like he's locked. Yeah,
you have one job: cover the tight end.
Right. Right. I mean, you got
what?
Sterling Shepard.
It takes me back to this like all the time. Giants.
I think that was the biggest letdown this offseason was the fact that they did not go get him another weapon besides Darren Waller.
Right.
That was the biggest letdown.
Wide receivers have always sucked.
Yeah, that's their problem.
They're finishing. I don't want to say last because I don't think there's like Washington's pretty bad.
They are, but
they won because they played the worst team in the league, and they deserve to lose against the worst team in the league too, which was crazy.
Right.
But I mean, as of right now,
I think right now the Commanders have more upside than the Giants do.
For sure, no, they for sure do. But what I'm going to say, if I were to look at this right now, it would go Dallas, Philly, Washington, New York.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying Washington's going to finish top two. They're going to be.
I think with the Giants' schedule, they're going to probably outpost Washington a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you also threw up 0 in week 1. That's a rough week 1, dude.
Dude, not great.
Shout out to anyone who had Dallas's defense handle. You scored 150 points. Or no, that was the other league. You scored 150 in your brother's league and had him on the bench.
Yeah, that sucks. I had him starting in my dynasty league. He put up 40.
Yeah, he also lost because of that.
Mm-hmm. That sucks.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, what do you think, Montel?
I'm not a big fan of this division. It's better than.
There's a worse division than this, and you're going to tell me that.
That's
rude.
Listen, this division, it's definitely. I do have Philly going in second. I don't think they'll take the first spot.
They got a tough schedule.
Yeah, and I think you said it right. Dallas, Philly, Washington, New York. I think that's how it's going to go, unless somehow, some way, they get Daniel Jones a wideout.
He can't.
And they had options this offseason. Yeah, they had options this offseason to get someone, and they decided to pay Danny Dimes instead. So,
right.
I mean, you had to though. Who are you going to go get?
That's valid too.
Quarterback what?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean they could have put him on the franchise tag.
I mean, he can at least
said,
move.
Hey,
he's still
mobile.
He's still young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You got to pay him, but you put him on a tag this year and go out and get yourself a couple receivers and then pay him next year.
Right.
That's such a huge divisional loss for the Giants too.
I mean, I didn't see your thing, but Justice Hill all day. Sorry.
Justice Hill.
Ian, they put it up on my screen.
We said, well, first off, I did. Second off, I said Kyron Williams.
Mm-hmm. I think he could take over the backfield from Cam Akers.
He outplayed Cam.
Mm-hmm. He had more snaps.
He outplayed him, but you know how running backs work in LA?
Bro, Cam Akers is a bum.
Yeah, running backs, the Rams are bums.
Right. But Kyron Williams put up more points.
We're on the perfect division for this.
And they're not going to.
There's 2 teams you don't draft certain positions for. It's called the Giants wide receivers. It's called the Rams running backs.
But Justice Hill is not going to take the majority of the snaps in Baltimore either.
Yeah, they're already talking about,
and they're going to go out and get somebody else.
Yeah, they're already talking about probably hosting.
One, and he still had touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. So who do you think is going to get the ball on the goal line?
Kareem Hunt when they sign him.
Yeah, Kareem. They're talking to Kareem Hunt. They might pull Melvin Gordon from the practice squad, but we all know how that goes.
I mean, if Lenny stops eating cheeseburgers, he can make a team.
They also that's the other guy. They said that they might host.
Got an old,
Fournette.
got a
They ain't
Zach
gonna take
Stacy.
him.
What
He
was his
failed
name?
his exam for New England.
What was
He's eating too many
the
cheeseburgers.
guy? What was the guy from Green Bay? Stacy?
Oh, Eddie Lacy.
Eddie Lacy. Yeah. He kind of came back to camp, and he was like the size of a lineman.
Mm-hmm. You know what's crazy to me is like they didn't take Lenny in New England, but they took Zeke.
Yeah. My
That
man
dude
who eats cereal.
Yeah, that
all
dude ate
day.
way too many. They're like, oh, you don't eat cheeseburgers, you eat cereal. Oh, you good?
That's right. Those fruit loops hit different.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement there. I mean, like I said, that's a weird division right now. It's always a weird division. That's a division that like forever times like there's one team that's like 10, 11 wins, and then everyone else is 500.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how it
Diamond
works.
Lettuce, you lean whatever way you want, man. I'm leaning the other way.
So, Ian, kick us off on the north.
All right, sir. So this is going to be an interesting division.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think the Bears are going to be last.
Do you?
The Packers look very good. The Lions took down the Super Bowl champs, which we saw. Now, granted, Super Bowl champs receivers blew that game, so that didn't help.
Right.
But the Vikings, well, I mean, listen, the Vikings didn't show up either. Justin Jefferson did his thing in fantasy, but that was about it. So it's going to be between Vikings and Bears in the bottom, but I think the Bears are going to be at the bottom.
Okay.
Packers got a shot. If they play like they did week 1, Jordan Love looks confident. He looks good.
It was a good warm-up game for him for sure.
Bro, it looked scary. He looked eerily like Rodgers, and it was weird. I didn't like it. Now, obviously, he doesn't look like Rodgers, but the way he played looked like Rodgers.
No, he still has an Achilles.
You're right. He has exactly one more Achilles than Rodgers does. That's what I was getting at. When you look at him, you can obviously tell he has 2 Achilles.
Yeah. I mean, he's played at least one more week than Rodgers this year.
God. Oh, man.
Montel,
rough.
This is my favorite division in football right now.
Oh, shit.
I say that because it can turn out to be one of the more competitive
for sure
parts of this division. Mm-hmm. It's strong. I have Detroit taking the first spot. If they can really grab some momentum.
You said the first 5?
Hmm?
Did you say the first 5?
No, I think they can take the first spot in their division.
Oh, I think you said first 5. Sorry.
No, yeah. I
Who
think
was that? Who do you think they can?
Detroit.
I think it'll be Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago. I just don't think Chicago has it in them right now. DJ Moore is not reviving his career, in my opinion.
He better.
Justin Fields is going to have to really light it up. But yeah, this is a very competitive. It could go either way in the NFC North. I think that it's
the the Lions one. Yeah, I saw the Lions winning the division. But I agree. It's going to be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, Green Bay looked good on defense, right? Decent on offense. I wouldn't say they were like you said, they were like good. Like, I'm not going to say they're bad. I mean, they're missing one of their start outs too. So, I mean, that's going to help them too. But
yeah, did that without Christian Watson.
I mean, they might have got better this year. This year.
So now, granted, to Dummy Lettuce's point, Chicago's not a great team. They're just not. No matter how much you hype them up, they're just not a good team. But like you said, they look good.
But also they
got better.
Like, they got a lot better than the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And they have one of the top, like, young quarterbacks there is. And he showed up like Josh Allen showed up. He didn't.
Right. And I think that's the problem, is that Justin Fields is more of a running back.
100%. So, I mean, I'll take this
as a quarterback.
Respect, right? So it's going to go Green Bay, Detroit, probably Minnesota. I think we're all in agreement that Chicago's last, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chicago can win as many games as they want as long as they start 0-2. I don't care. But I think they finished last. That O-line
I'm guessing Tampa plays Chicago this week.
We're going to get into that in the next division. But so that O-line looks like Joe Burrow's O-line from 2 years ago. It is awful. Awful.
Which one we talking about?
The Bears O-line.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yes, he's a scrambling quarterback. I mean, it went to like kind of an aspect last night where Wilson bailed out of the pocket last night for the Jets because he was used to a bad line, but he's got a good line because Aaron Rodgers came in and they just signed a bunch of players. Fields bails because that's the kind of player he is, and he doesn't realize that, like, he needs to start stepping up. Like, he's just bailing instantly no matter what. If someone comes off the rush, he's bailing for a run. And he's trying to throw on the run. I mean, you look at these guys that are like that, like him, AR, they all get into that aspect. And, like, scrambling quarterback's good, but, like, we're kind of fading back away from that again. Like, we had that running quarterback for a while, but, like, I think they're going to figure out Fields, and I think they're going to win 4 or 5 games this year.
I agree with you.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that's the problem, is that they're figuring out these running quarterbacks, and they're forcing them to have to throw the ball now.
Yeah.
And
you're playing that QB spy, and guess what? You're going to give up. Unfortunately, when you do a QB spy, you're going to give up that one-on-one on maybe their star receiver. But guess what? When their star receiver is DJ Moore, which I want him to score, they're going to give that up every day over Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to put a spy and make sure it happens. So, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, they did not look good. I also look at the same way. I mean, like I said, it's Overreact Tuesday, but, like, the bottom 2 teams in that division, both they lost at home.
Mm-hmm.
They lost at home.
Yes, sir.
Detroit went and won in Kansas City. Obviously, we know what happened in Kansas City, but you still won in Kansas City.
That's a fact.
Green Bay, biggest rival there is, still won in your opposite team's field. That's a big thing in its
Green Bay South.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that pretty much lines up. You switch Minnesota and Chicago there in that division, sitting exactly where it needs to be sitting.
Yep. Alrighty, sir.
We are coming to Montel's favorite division, guys. Kick us off.
This is probably the most lackadaisical division I have ever seen in my entire life. No, just joking. Just joking. No, they had a really good showing. Very, very happy with Atlanta Falcons getting that dub. Seeing Bijan do his thing was nice. Tampa Bay, I can't act like I'm not a fan of Baker, especially with his comments on the field. Really, really loved it. His confidence coming back is nice. He was able to hit more than 2 receivers up, which was nice to see. New Orleans looks shaky to me, but if I'm being honest, the only thing that flips in this division is put Atlanta in the 3rd spot, and that's how I have it ending up.
Where's it at right now? Let me see. Hold on.
It's I do have Tampa winning the division.
You just come up with best friend, man.
I do have
his new best friend.
I was after that game and seeing him hit up more than 2 receivers. I was like, okay, Baker's actually tapping.
Okay. Let's hear it, Ian.
So I don't have it like that.
Why would you?
Right. So, yeah, I mean, Atlanta came out and played. I said multiple times on different episodes that I think Atlanta's going to be sneaky this year. I don't think Ritter's it. But if Bijan and Algier can do what they do all year like that, that's pretty solid. Tampa showed up. I mean, Mike Evans caught that deep ball. Baker can throw a deep ball. Granted, Evans was pretty open. Who did Tampa even play?
Minnesota.
Yeah. So I think the Falcons are going to be sneaky in this division. I think Falcons actually come in second. I had the Saints winning it. I had them in the beginning. Winning it, I'm going to stick with it. I think Derek Carr is going to kind of find himself again.
Okay.
So I have Saints, Falcons, and then Tampa and Carolina. Carolina is just too young. They're just not going to.
You got Falcons number 2?
They don't have it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I have Nolans first. But yeah, I mean, 3 or 4 got a dub this week. It's Overreact Tuesday. So, as of course, I'm sure John's thinking in his head, Bucs win the Super Bowl. But we'll slide over to Mr. McCoy.
What a week. Listen, I'm pumped. So, obviously, I lost a bet this week because I bet against my own damn team.
Don't do that, bro. Can't do it.
That's how you make them win.
Is it? That's how you do it?
Yeah, so
you have to lose.
You bet the Browns next week. But no, I mean,
you're right. Never. I will never in my life put money on the Cleveland Browns. Let that be known and broadcasted to live social media.
Let me ask you this:
I will never in my life put money on the Cleveland Browns.
Let me ask you this though: if you're on like a 9-game streak of like betting the opposite team, the Steelers won every single one, and then it went to the AFC Championship game. It was the Browns and Steelers. Do you just stop betting them?
Yes, 2 reasons. One,
and they lose, and then you like offer.
2, I missed that last part, but 2 reasons. 1, Browns will never be there, and 2, Steelers gonna dub all day. Ain't a problem.
Gotcha. Okay. So Ian obviously doesn't watch the division of the South. So
that is a fact. Yeah. I didn't watch any of these games.
So Carolina sucks. By the way,
I said that.
They're by far probably my second worst team in the league. It goes.
I said that terrible.
It goes the Cardinals, then Carolina.
Sure.
The Falcons are not.
The Cardinals are better.
The Falcons are not good. They are not good.
Okay.
Panthers have one of the worst. Yeah, go ahead and go to it. Yeah. Rushdys there is out there. They have no center core. No one that can stop the run. So, of course, Algier and Bijan are going to go off.
Valid.
But what happens when you stop those guys? You have to have a quarterback.
True.
You have to have receivers. That's why I said in our last podcast when we took the over-unders, they're going to win max 6 games. And the only reason they're winning 6 games is because they played Carolina twice, and that's 2 of them.
Sure.
The Saints really shocked me because Tennessee, like I said, their defense is decent. They're not that good. But Derek Carr, he's still it's kind of like the Baker situation as well. Like he's settling in, right? But he doesn't have really big studs there either. I mean, he's got the young buck there. What's his name? He's got Olave, and what's the other guy's name?
Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah. Because Michael Thomas is going to be
a good game
too.
Yeah, I mean he's pretty much toast.
Yeah, let's be real. And then I mean, obviously you're going to get Kamara back, but like, what do you do there? I mean, I'm not going to say. I said this to you guys last time. They're going to win the division because the Bucs can never beat them in the regular season. But they didn't look as good as I thought they were going to look week 1. Like I said, it's Overreact Tuesday, but it was a field goal game with Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's a rough.
I mean, I think Tennessee's a little slept on a little bit, but
you said that before, but I mean, like, I say that and like you say that, but like the Saints have a good defense. Tennessee's got a decent defense, so I mean, I get it. But
yeah,
I mean, we'll see. Nothing like going to Minnesota and beating them, though.
Hey, valid.
With
very valid.
Hey, with not Tom Brady.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Last division.
Realistically, it's Atlanta's going to be 3, and then Carolina. By the way.
All right, last division. Then we'll wrap it up. NFC West. Rams put it to whoever the hell they played.
Seattle.
I can't remember. Apparently, they had 2 Cooper Kupps on the field, Puka Nacua and Tutu Atwell. They both had 119 yards receiving. Exactly, like to the T. Puka had 10 receptions, 119 yards. Tutu had 6 receptions for 119 yards. So they put in some work. Yeah, he did have 4 picks.
Mm-hmm.
They put in some work. We're not even going to touch on the Niners. I don't even think they played this week, so we'll just skip them. They just got a W. Cardinals are hot garbage, clearly. And, man, Seattle.
That's who they play, by the way.
Looked not great. That's right. They did play Seattle. Seattle didn't look good.
No.
Seattle did not look good.
We go back in the, looking back at, their, I guess, what they were built on. Seattle was built on a defense. And their defense is not there anymore. They just don't have it.
It's not the same, no. I mean, you have Devin Bush on your team. That'll tell you how good your defense is.
They were getting picked apart. I'm not saying Stafford's bad because Stafford's good, but I mean, you think about the rest of their team, it's like almost all rookies.
Yeah.
They picked them apart.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean, it was Niners are winning that division. The Rams are winning that division. What'd you say? Yeah. It's going to be Niners, Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals.
Nah, I mean, I think Seattle overtakes the Rams.
I think they're going to be close.
I
think they're going to be close. I think the Rams just had a rough year last year. I mean, Stafford got hurt.
For sure.
Kupp got hurt. Defense couldn't carry him.
For sure. I mean, Arizona's obviously finishing last.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're tanking. They're done.
I mean, I'm 16 games away. That's all I need.
Yeah. Kyler's enjoying his time playing Call of Duty. Going up the ranks. He's probably like max level right now.
Oh, he's prestiged.
He's prestiged fully.
Yeah, I mean, this is an easy one. I mean, it really is. I mean, this is probably, I would say, out of all the divisions, the easiest one to pick who's going to win it by far.
Oh, yeah.
And who's going to,
I would say so, too.
And obviously who's going to lose it by far because they're the worst team in the league. Like I said, the Commanders made them look better than they were just because they had some bad turnovers. I think they had 3 fumbles in the game or something like that.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, Seattle did not look good. What was it? Really 30-13 against the Rams. That's awful. At home. And how do you do that?
In Seattle.
But Montel,
they smoked.
The 49ers absolutely thrashed the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We know.
They didn't play.
And that hurts to say, but they completely thrashed us. There's not too much to say. Like you said, 49ers will win this by 4. I do think the Rams will end up second. Obviously, Arizona in last. And to answer the question in the chat, top wide receiver pickup, if you don't go get Puka, that's probably the best wide receiver pickup next to Zay Jones because Trevor Lawrence did not give 2 Fs about Christian Kirk on Sunday.
Nope, 0.
You're right.
So those are the top 2 waiver wire pickups for wide receivers to me. Because I think a lot of people actually took what's his name, Atwell.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people took him late in their draft, so I don't think he's pretty available.
It's kind of crazy how many people for the Jags thought that he was going to target him. I mean, Zay was one of his favorite targets last year. You add Ridley back, guess what's going to happen? Zay's going to be number 2.
Yep. I took Zay in my other league.
Yeah.
He was somebody I was like, he's definitely going to show up somewhere.
It just showed how good Ridley actually is again.
In camp, man, you could see the difference in speed, footwork,
he's
ability. Like, it wasn't even close when he did his first workout. It wasn't close.
Insane.
I'm very happy about that.
I mean, the only reason it was that close is, I mean, Trevor made a couple mistakes, obviously, but week one.
Indeed.
All right. Well, week one's in the books. Overreactions in the books. Steelers can get this dub on Monday against the Browns. Put them back in their place.
Tuesday's going to be so.
All will be right with the world, baby. All will be right with the world. All right, that's all I got. Y'all have anything else?
No, thank you guys so much for having me tonight. This was a lot of fun. Hope to do this more in the future.
For sure. Guys, if you guys want to see a fun podcast, make sure you show up next Tuesday when the Browns beat the Steelers on Monday night. And I'm right again. And my two co-hosts are wrong again. So we'll see you there.
Can't wait to see TJ Watt take Deshaun Watson and stone cold stunner him into the ground. It's going to be so great.
Achilles there.
All right, y'all. Till next week.
See y'all there.
Oh, wait. Oh. Dubby. Shout out, Dubby.
Reverse.
Big Bubby. Unfortunately, we couldn't get one.
Shout out. This is it. The hydration blend. Because of this, I'm always hydrated.
I got the packets.
It tastes like strawberry bananas. It's fantastic. You got the packets?
Yep. Water bottle packets, baby. Yes,
Dubby
sir.
Looks like it says you bud, but it's Dubby. It's just backwards.
They're great.
All right. This is how I get through the workday. Montel, this is how I get through the workday. Take a drink of this. I'm good to go.
That's really how I get through the workday.
That's right. Use our code. Let me pop it up here real quick. Whang! Squatchin Sports, 10% off your order of Dubby. They got shaker bottles. They got merch. They got energy. They got hydration. They got everything you need for life. No sugar. No added crap. It's all good. Go get it. Dubby, 10% off. Squatchin Sports. Do it. All right. Now
as always, we will see you guys Tuesday. Yep. But we might have some details. We might figure out some Monday stuff too.
Figure it out. I'll be at the game. Maybe I can live stream.
We got a lot of Steeler Browns people in here, so we might throw it down. Might have to have a nightcap.
All right, y'all.